Welcome back to your weekly roar, where we break down what actually matters, cut through the noise, and give you something you can use right now. I'm Dustin, and I'm here with my incredibly bearded friend, Brandon. And today we're diving into something big, something that doesn't just impact Roar, but speaks to where the entire crypto space is heading. We're talking about the big tax day one Roar burn surprise. Surprise! What it means, we're going to talk about what it means, how it happened, and why this moment is bigger than just numbers. If you've ever wondered what real discipline and real utility look like in crypto, this one is for you. So let's get into it.
This week's spark is simple. What happens when a project doesn't take from the community but gives back instead? Because that's exactly what we're seeing right now. We're announcing a 15% supply reduction over the next 2 quarters. That's 1.5 billion one roar tokens being burned. I'm just going to pause for a second. Let that sink in. 15% reduction. In a market where most projects are raising more, spending more, and diluting more, Roar is doing the opposite. We're reducing supply intentionally, strategically, and transparently. But here's the real question: where did that capacity come from? Because burns don't just happen, you have to earn the ability to do them.
That's so good. So, quick take. Here's the thing that most people get wrong. Token burns aren't hype if they're backed by operational efficiency. They're only meaningful when they come from real savings, real discipline, and real execution. And that's exactly what this is. Let's zoom out for a second. The broader market right now is shifting. So you're seeing AI is accelerating development cycles. Capital it's becoming more selective. Communities are demanding real utility, not promises. And in the middle of that, Roar made a decision during the crypto winter. So this has gone way back to get lean, get smart, build better. And we've said that along the journey. You've heard that over and over. And now we are seeing the result. So before we get into the next part of this might be a good moment for you to grab a coffee or reset for a second because what we're about to get into goes a layer deeper.
All right, let's go in for that deep dive. Let's talk about how this actually happened. Because this is where things get real. Roar didn't just decide to burn tokens, we created the conditions that make it possible. Here's what changed.
So marketing evolution was key. We moved away from paid marketers, low return campaigns, bot driven traffic, and shifted towards earned media, strategic placements, real world events, and networking. That was a hard decision heading into a crypto winter. The result: lower costs, higher quality reach, and real engagement.
This is massive. With 80 plus software platforms in development, we introduced our own AI agents into the workflow. What used to take full dev teams, long timelines, and high burn rates now takes less than 1/6 of the time and cost. That's not incremental, that's exponential efficiency.
You know what else, Brandon? They also don't rip you off or put in malicious code or do bad stuff to you, and you can run safety checks on them. I love them so much. My favorite team members. Okay, not really. I love humans. Okay, so the next thing, number three, smarter capital strategy. Instead of mass press releases that literally we track the traffic. So we watch the traffic, we watch the eyeballs, we knew it wasn't doing what it was supposed to. We shifted to one on one investor conversations, strategic partnerships, relationship driven growth. The result: increased investor interest, expanded reach, and stronger team alignment. That was super crucial. And I will mention also here with MEXC and Bitmart being in our community and in our world, they've also reached us around the globe. And so we're grateful for their positioning because we're seeing a lot of movement there with people we could have reached. That came through relationships and time and partnerships and hard work.
We renegotiated partnerships. When we went back to the table, we were able to reduce costs across partners by up to two-thirds. That's real discipline.
Bro, that's like that's real. Two
Two-thirds.
thirds.
Yeah.
We're not joking. Like, and some of our partners saw it coming and they offered it before we even started down that road. They're like, hey, how about we give you this 3 month invoice at two-thirds from now on? There you go. Now you're thinking strategically. We're in a crypto winter. That was a good move. So the result of this, all of these moves combined did one thing. They eliminated the need for tokens originally set aside for these costs. Again, you saw our tokenomics in the beginning. If you haven't, they're still out there on Mirror. And so here's the deal. Instead of spending them or dumping them or quietly reallocating them to anything else for our team or whatever, we made a decision. We want to give back. We want to reward our entire community because you have helped get us here. We burn them.
So let's have a real talk moment and just be honest for a second. Most projects wouldn't do this. They would keep the tokens, they would justify the spend, or they would hide the inefficiencies. But this is what it looks like when a team says we win with the community and not off of it.
All right. Here's what we're calling the hot seat question for this week. You've got to ask yourself, what happens when a project can grow faster, cheaper, and stronger while reducing costs and supply costs at the same time? Because, my friends, that's the model shift we're seeing right now. Because of the changes in our world, because of the developments we built to replace inefficiencies, we've built the software that made us more efficient. We've built the conversations, the relationships. That's very significant. Will other companies take that challenge and do the same thing? I don't think so. All right, before we land this, let's take a second and think about how this actually shows up in your world, because the next piece is where it all starts to connect.
Now let's bring it all together because this isn't just about a burn. This is about what comes next.
Base chain plus utility. Let's talk about One Roar is going live on base chain. We've talked about it. We've talked about it. We talked about it. Now we're going to share why it matters. So let's go deeper. Why? Because Base is faster, scalable, and built for real world applications. And more importantly, it aligns with what OneRoar actually is. Let me go even a layer deeper. Coinbase is a publicly traded company already accepted in the space, and they're already pushing into what's going to become the banking world as well. So they got the same vision as us in putting our software and platforms that require the utility of our token on Base chain, not to the in removing of any others, but to the opportunity of base chain. It's truly a chance for a true utility token to gain traction and speed inside of a growing ecosystem.
We're not just reducing supply, we're preparing for software releases, ecosystem expansion, new partnerships, increased adoption, and all of this is happening while supply is decreasing. That's the key.
So let's take a second for our 1 minute insight. Just pull back 30,000 feet. In 1 minute, here's why this or what about this really matters. We saved across marketing, development, and partnerships. We accelerated using AI. We increased reach without increasing cost. And instead of extracting value, we returned value to you, the community, through a 1.5 billion token burn, 15% of supply. Boom.
And if there's one thing to take from this, it's this. The strongest ecosystems aren't built by spending more. They're built by operating smarter and sharing the upside with the people who believed early. This is just the beginning. This burn is the first of what may be more. And with the pre-sale claim ending in September of 26, the runway ahead is very real.
So, my friends, That is this week's roar. If this hit you, if this got you in your gut, share it with someone who needs to hear it and make sure you're tapped in so you don't miss out on what's happening next. Follow us on our different platforms, especially on X. Get there and follow us there. We've got more conversations, more clarity, and more real insight coming your way. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and keep moving forward. This is your weekly roar. Thanks for being on, Brandon. We'll see you next time, friends. Y'all take care.
Take care, everybody.